Good morning, everyone. I'm Waldek Martyniuk, talking to you from my office at the Jagiellonian University in Kraków, Poland. We have a wonderful morning here in Kraków, and I hope you can enjoy such as well in these difficult times. I have the pleasure today to officially launch the new edition of the ALTE Principles of Good Practice 2020. But before I do, I would like to say a few words to all those of you who don't yet are members or friends of our association. ALTE has been founded over 30 years ago now, and it's an association that is grouping language testing professionals who would like to work together to promote the fair and accurate assessment of linguistic ability, not just in Europe, but also beyond it. It was founded in 1989 by two universities, Cambridge and Salamanca, is a non-profit organization and has a participatory status as an NGO with the Council of Europe. Today, in 2020, we enjoy having 33 full institutional members, offering language testing in 25 languages, but we have also over 60 institutional affiliates and nearly 600 individual affiliates. The activities that we are conducting aim at establishing quality standards and principles of good practice in the language testing profession. In this way, we want to promote transnational recognition of language certifications, improve the quality of language assessment, provide training and enhanced assessment literacy among language professionals, raise awareness of issues relating to language testing through regular meetings, as well as promote the benefits of plurilingualism or multilingualism and language learning across the board. Our aim is also to provide thought leadership through international conferences that we are offering. The way we work, our activities are of many different kinds. In the first instance, twice a year, we organize working meetings and conference days where special interest groups and working groups meet and also invite local participants to gain insight in our activities. Once every 3 years, ALTE is organizing international conferences, and the one we were hoping to organize in Madrid last month had to be rescheduled for next year, and we hope it's going to be possible to organize it there. The ALTE Association is also offering training. Consultancy is also conducting project work, but at the core of our activities is the Auditing and QMark project that is aiming at implementing good practices in our activities. The organs of our association are the following. The most important is the Council of Members, where all members meet and have to say their meaning, their opinion about our activities, suggest new ways to act, and review our current projects. We have a Secretary General, currently Nick Saville from Cambridge English, and we have a Board of Trustees, and I'm enjoying the privilege to chair their meetings. The Standing Committee is overseeing the auditing processes, and we have a devoted secretariat based in Cambridge to coordinate our activities. The standards that we have developed over all these years are the following. To begin with, our ALTE Code of Practice, then the principles of good practice the subject of my presentation today, including the minimum standards and the operationalization of those under the ALTE quality management system. The way we have structured our new edition of the ALTE Principles of Good Practice is showing a logical sequence. We start with ethical considerations, followed by the ALTE Code of Practice. Then we develop the concept of usefulness in language examinations, paying attention to examination qualities at the core of good practices in language testing profession. The ALTE minimum standards are serving as a tool to examine to what extent the language providers are offering the quality expected from the members. But not at the end, but as a fundament of our association is the ALTE support and resources that we are offering in order to implement the practice, the principles that we have agreed upon. The ethical considerations that we have discussed are based on the ILTA, the International Language Testing Association Code of Ethics that you may find online. And in this, we refer our members, but also all professionals, to those principles, adding to it the importance on social ethics, social responsibility and justice in all assessment, and in particular in using language tests for questions of migration and by political decision makers. The ALTE Code of Practice that you also find on our webpage is serving not just the examination developers, but it's aiming at all stakeholders in the testing process, the developers, the examination takers, and in the end, the examination users who require the examination for some decision-making on other purpose. In the Code of Practice, we have laid down responsibilities of the three stakeholder groups in 4 broad areas: developing examinations, interpreting examination results, striving for fairness as a transversal quality, and informing examination takers properly as an important part of this process. The concept of usefulness in language examinations is serving us as a starting point to look at the examination qualities that we would like to offer as the basis for our set of principles of good practice. We consider an examination useful where it does make sense, and it does make sense when it is valid. And the validation process is the overarching concept that we offer to begin with our set of examination qualities that you see here displayed nicely as a kind of a spring flower. And starting with the set is the issue of validity. As we all know, the two issues, validity and reliability, have always been at the core of looking at the quality of every examination. There's the matter of content validity, to what extent the content of the exam is valid in the way it's used, as well as the construct that is serving to elicit the language that we want then to measure in a reliable way. To look at language ability, to measure the level of language ability, is not a straightforward business. We all know that. So it's not just the matter of content and construct and reliable measurement, but it's also a matter of fairness, because we are dealing with human behavior that we are looking at. And in the social cognitive framework, we know that there are many aspects that may influence the outcome of this process. The criterion-related evidence is also an important one. In most instances, examiners and test takers as well refer to the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages of the Council of Europe, but to which extent this reference is a valid one is an important issue. Also important is the quality of service that we are offering to our customers, and the practicality of solutions that we are implementing. And last but not least, the impact that the exams are having on all those involved in the process of language examining. The way we are looking at implementing these principles, you may find under our quality management system, consisting of the minimum standards, the 17 quality standards that we have agreed upon that are at the minimum of proper quality, followed by a very thorough auditing system that we are offering to our members, but also to all interested outside of our membership, leading to assignment of an ALTE Q mark in a case where we see that all minimum standards have been implemented properly, and then placing this or that exam after thorough auditing on our good quality ALTE framework. The way the validity argument may be built is when those interested in examining their quality take a look at our ALTE minimum standards, and you find them on our webpage under materials in a number of language versions, in order to see whether your activities may be considered fulfilling those. The ALTE auditing system is built upon a series of procedures looking at one test, one suite of tests, or the whole testing system, aiming to establish that minimum quality standards are being met in a way that is appropriate to the context of a test. We are aware of the fact that the context may vary, and in fact, the membership of ALTE is very diverse. If quality standards are not yet being met, ALTE members will collaborate with the audited organization to implement an action plan aimed at working towards and ultimately reaching the quality standards. In the end, in conclusion, the auditing procedures may turn useful for those considering it to clarify the quality demands of examination, of a given examination, to provide ALTE members with valuable feedback of the state of affairs in their examinations, to provide them with concrete possibilities or necessities for improving their own examinations, but also setting priorities for training, workshops, and mutual consultancy and support. And in the end, hoping to improve the system itself. The result, hopefully of a positive outcome of such a process, is the ALTE Q mark, a quality indicator which member organizations may use to show that their exams have passed this very thorough audit and meet the core requirements of the 17 quality standards. The outcome remains valid for 5 years. The Q mark is awarded to a given exam, not to the organization as a whole, and allows test users to be greatly confident that an exam is backed by appropriate processes, reliable procedures and criteria, and consistent high standards. We are also offering support. And this is probably what is the most valuable part of our way to deal with principles of good practice. To begin with, ALTE courses offered to all those interested, not just to the ALTE members, starting with a series of introductory courses on foundations and introductory courses, through the next level, language testing for professionals in various topics, and at the top, language testing for experts, where advanced topics related to language testing are being discussed. We are also offering custom-tailored courses when there is a need by a given organization or association or institution to offer such. The way we use our expertise may be also visible in the cooperation activities that ALTE has conducted and is conducting with the Council of Europe, the Language Policy Unit, and the European Centre for Modern Languages, as well as with the institutions of the European Union, the Commission and the European Parliament. The support is also taking shape of materials that we have developed so far, most of them easy available. To begin with, the materials that we have on offer, a very useful guidance for test item writers that you may download freely from our webpage, but also the validation unit that is offering a range of services from statistical analysis to preparation for audits and editing and review of reports. The publications that I would like to highlight, just a few, are the following. To begin with, a very useful multilingual glossary of language testing terms developed and published in 1998. Next is the Manual for Language Test Development and Examining, a very useful guidance how to develop language exams, specifically for use with the Council of Europe's Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. We have also on offer a version for language for specific process tests based upon the manual. The topic that we are devoting attention to are language tests for access, integration, and citizenship in the context of migration. An outline for policymakers has been jointly developed and published by ALTE and the Council of Europe. The latest that we have on offer is a report on the jointly conducted survey on language and knowledge of society policies for integration. The report produced for the Council of Europe by a team of ALTE members. A rich variety of interesting articles you may find in our international conference proceedings from Barcelona, Berlin, Cambridge, Krakow, Paris, and Bologna. We were hoping to continue with Madrid this year, and we hope we will be able to do so next year. And I would strongly encourage you to consider registering for this event taking place in April 2021, jointly organized by ALTE and Instituto Cervantes. And we are hoping to be able to devote a special session to the promotion of the new edition of the ALTE Principles of Good Practice there, inviting colleagues from other associations to look at our principles and offer feedback on those, as well as ALTE members, users and implementers of these principles. You can find the new edition of the ALTE Principles of Good Practice online on our website in the section of resources as of now, and I strongly encourage you to make use of this, to my mind, very useful document. Thank you very much. Enjoy the spring.